Hey guys, this is Bliminot here, and today we're going to start a new show on our channel called Nerf Talks. Now, this show is going to be a series of episodes that covers what all blasters you should buy for a perfect Nerf war and how to win a Nerf war, plus all the new updates on on Nerf company for releasing all their new blasters. Now, this series will continue for a long time as far as Nerf continues, and it will basically talk about the perfect gear for your Nerf wars and what sidearms you should choose, what should be your primary weapons, secondary weapons, and stuff like that. We'll also try to compare competitive Nerf blasters with other competitive Nerf blasters and off-brand blasters as well. And so you've got to stay tuned. Now today we're going to start the first episode of this show, obviously because this is the first time I'm doing this. I'm kind of nervous, but doesn't matter actually. So today's topic is going to be which is the best Nerf sidearm for you. Now, sidearms are a very essential part of the Nerf hobby and all the Nerf battle community. So, sidearms basically help you like battle in emergency when your primaries just run out of ammo or something. And speaking of sidearms, there are so many sidearms available today. For example, you have the strong arm, you have the hammer shot, you have the disruptor which came out in 2017, and now you have the elite 2.0 commander, which is also technically a sidearm kind of blaster. But yeah, so there are so many sidearm blasters, plus you have in the rival series as well so many blasters like the Kronos, and that's it. I guess there is one knockout, but that's just a breech loading pistol which no one even cares about. There's the Kronos, and there's the AccuRound. What is the new rival series called? Yeah, it's called the AccuRival, which is a weird name, but yeah, it's called the AccuRival series Vision, which is also a sidearm, which is a 8-shot internal magazine fed blaster. Now, speaking of all these primaries, the main thing that you want to do with your primary is just being able to shoot and mm, being able to like technically save yourself from getting shot from all angles when your primary is over. Now, for me and for my Nerf experience so far, the best primary has been only one blaster, and that's from the rival lane. And yes, guys, you guessed it. This is the best Nerf sidearm that you'll get in the market today. And I don't think any other Nerf blaster is going to beat this record for a while now. Now this is the rival Kronos for those of you who don't know for some reason. I don't know what you're doing on my video if you don't know the rival Kronos. This blaster is legendary. Now this thing can be compared to a real life Desert Eagle. It's a absolute powerhouse. This thing is a beast. Now this is a rival blaster of course, and going over like a brief overview of this blaster, uh, starting up at the front, there's no strike barrel lug. It has two tactical rails which are pretty small, but okay, doesn't matter. Has a front and rear iron sight which you can see, has a front loading door. You can prime the slide back, you can load in your 5 rounds just like this. Has an internal magazine that goes up here, has capacity of 5 rounds. It close the You shut the gate, close the slide, and pull the trigger to fire. Has a trigger safety only on the right hand side, not on the left hand side, but it doesn't matter. Overall the grip is phenomenal, the overall ergonomics of this blaster are phenomenal, and today I'm going to discuss the reason why this should be your secondary blaster and not any other Nerf blaster. Now for any secondary blaster, one thing to ensure is that the blaster does not jam, because once your primary is jammed, you have high hopes for your secondary, because if your secondary does not perform well, you're kind of screwed, I guess. But yeah, now speaking of jams on this blaster, I haven't experienced one till date. This was a 2018 model, but still, this thing is just ridiculous. Ridiculous in the good sense, I guess. So, this thing, as I said, is a Desert Eagle, is an absolute powerhouse. Now, comparing its velocity to other blasters, this thing is a sidearm pistol, and most of the rival sidearm pistols shoot up to 90 FPS, which is fairly average, but this thing shoots a 98 or even 100 FPS sometimes. Now, this is a 5-shot blaster, as I said, but this thing has some punch in it, and one of the more secondary reasons to use a secondary is generally when your primary is not working, you have to rely on this thing, and you have to do range shooting as well. Now the range shooting is pretty important, and to shoot at ranges, Nerf Elite isn't enough because the darts just wander around everywhere. Even Active Strike is not enough. Waffle had darts just after some 100 feet or so, they just wander off everywhere. Even in rival series as well, there are many blasters which just are not accurate enough, but this blaster, I have never found a single complaint about accuracy in this thing. Now I've been using this so much that my playground is actually, you can say, 100 meters long. I've tried to hit stuff with this from 100 meters, like bottles, like neck of bottles, and I've still been able to shoot them from that far, and that too in a lot of wind. Now it has these iron sights, which I don't know if you guys can see, but these iron sights look pretty cool, and these are accurate. These normally on Nerf blasters, iron sights don't play much of a role because you technically are just shooting and spraying like so, but this is not the case in this blaster. This blaster actually feels like an airsoft blaster. Now for those who can't afford airsoft but really do want to get that airsoft feel, this thing is awesome. Plus, you won't get outgunned by this blaster. It's like one of those COD war zones, one shot, one kill kind of a scheme with this blaster. You just can't miss a shot. You just can't miss. And if you miss a shot, then it's a problem with your eyes. This blaster is just ridiculous. Plus, you can shotgun load this blaster, which means at a close range, you can pump this once, then you can take the jamming button, pump it twice, pump it thrice, and you have 3 shots ready. You just wait for it, turn a corner, bam, just 3 shots out of the barrel like a shotgun. This thing is freaking ridiculous. It has grips on the side, which means if you are in a short range battle, um, you'll be able to do this pretty quickly, so which helps out a ton. Now the accuracy, as I said, is incredible on this blaster. The FPS that this blaster gives is also incredible. Now, is there any blaster that can beat the rival Kronos? Now in my opinion, no. There's no such blaster which can beat the rival Kronos as far as what I know. Of course, for primaries, a lot of blasters are there, like the rival Perseus, which is my favorite. It can easily outgun this blaster, but it's not accurate. It's more of like a SMG style blaster, but yeah, that thing has a lot of firepower, and the fire rate is too high on that blaster. But this thing is, as I said, the Desert Eagle of Nerf. Now, even its proportions are a bit too big for a sidearm, but even if you want to use it as a primary, you totally can. This is the first time that you can ever actually use a secondary as a primary, because as I said, it's a one shot, one kill, or in Nerf, I guess, one shot, one tag kind of thing. But yeah, this thing is just not from this world. This thing is not just not from this world. I have tested the strong arm. The strong arm is good. It has a 6 shot capacity. It's a cylinder. It has a freely moving cylinder, and it's a revolver, kind of like a revolver, and it has a top prime mechanism. Plus, it has slam fire. But all of that doesn't matter when you're doing it on ranges. If you go with this blaster on a like a standard elite battle, no one can defeat you. Actually, no one literally can defeat you, because of course this is a rival blaster. But if you go in airsoft, I don't think no anyone can defeat you. Actually, this thing is like competitive in even airsoft battles. Now, this is what matters. This thing makes this thing. I mean, this quality makes this blaster way ahead of the Nerf rivals time. But yeah, this thing is just way too good. Now, for those who are just getting started with rival and just haven't experienced rival yet, just want to get their hands on this blaster is perfect. This blaster represents all that rival has to offer in just a compact packet, and packs a solid punch. Now, the design looks so cool. Everything about this is so cool. Your the grip is so good that your palms won't get sweaty or anything. Plus, man, the accuracy. I can't just stop talking about the accuracy. Now, is it war practical? As I said, I'm talking about war practicality here. Now, many Etsy second-hand shops just give speed loaders for these things, which means you can prime the slide back, open this thing up, and even you don't have to open this. They kind of make 3D printed components in which you can just like directly have an open door over here, because this door doesn't serve any purpose. And then you can take a speed loader, just shove all those darts in just like a magazine, shut the slide back, fire, and you can repeatedly keep firing, and it's just too good. I mean, this thing is, in my opinion, as I say again, the best sidearm ever. So like if you're deciding to buy a sidearm right now, you're thinking of the Dart Zone Pro, actually the Dart Zone Pro Mark II and the Dart Zone Pro Mark 2.1. Both of them are internal magazine fed blasters that actually have a really high firing capacity, firepower, but they do not actually serve the purpose. After a range, the darts do get deviated. This is not the case with it. This uses the rival rounds. Plus, the new AccuRival rounds are even more accurate. I've seen many videos and I've even tested them in stores. Now, as you can see, this is a standard rival round, and plus, rival has an advantage of their ammo rebounding. Now, rebounding is a really cool option if you want to shoot around corners. You can technically shoot around corners, like how my rival round just bounced off. If this rival round bounces off at 90 fps, your opponent on the other corner of the wall is dead. So there are so many other blasters. This is a Springer, of course. This is not a flywheeler, but there are so many other Springers like the Helios, the Apollo. They're too big for their size, and plus they take magazines from the bottom, which means the grip is so beefy and everything. Plus they are not accurate. They don't even have iron sights on them, so there's no point in buying them when you have this beast right here. This thing is affordable. This thing is pretty affordable when compared to airsoft and gives similar performance. Now the real life Desert Eagle holds 7 rounds in its magazine. As far as what I know, this thing holds 5. Now the only difference is this thing is the Desert Eagle. This thing is indeed the Desert Eagle of Nerf. Now I don't know what to say else. This thing is just so good. Now if you're looking for a pistol or anything, in fact you're a Lego guy, just like me, and you want to get your hands on, in fact, any Nerf blaster, not even rival, any Nerf blaster, this is the one you should pick. It's still available in markets. It's not extinct yet. Yeah, you can get your hands on it anytime, like soon. So that's it. That's for the first episode of Nerf Talks. If you enjoyed this video, share this video to your friends who are also deciding to buy a Nerf rival round blaster just like this, and like the video, subscribe to the channel, of course, and I guess I'll meet you guys in the next video. Till then, this is Blame Me Not signing off with my Nerf Chronos. Till then, see you. Stay tuned.